Idiot Radio, taking it to the edge and back.
Everybody, thanks for listening to the Triple B Experience. I'm your host, Bad Bubba Brewer. I just want to give you guys a little bit of insight about me, what makes me tick, what really gets me going, and what cools my jets when need be. Hey, I love professional wrestling. I wrestled for 17 years. And also, I'm a huge Steeler fan, and I've collected comic books all my life. So I'm going to talk about the stuff that I want to talk about. True experiences that are entertaining, and we recant them stories to you, the masses out there in podcast land. Join me on this crazy journey called the Triple B Experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Triple B Experience. I'm your host, Bad Bubba Brewer, and this is episode 13. Ladies and gentlemen, lucky number 13, and I'm glad that I'm doing this. And I just want to give a big shout out to Todd DeFazio. We did a WrestleMania prediction and results, and I was in the studio down in Pittsburgh, and it was phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. He has such a great-looking studio. He did it on tape, and it was awesome. And I just want to give props out to Todd for a wonderful job he was doing down there for idiotradio.net. And I love the experience, and I believe we had like over 1,200 hits for that WrestleMania prediction show. And I think we're going to do some more shows like that because we actually had a good time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know that you can get the app on Idiot Radio app, and you can download on iTunes and Google Play, and also Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and you can get on SoundCloud to hear the Triple B Experience and also every other show from idiotradio.net. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say it's been a crazy couple weeks since the last time I talked to you. Also, as of last night, the Pens are out of the playoffs. I hate to say that, very quickly got swept by the New York Rangers. No, wait. The Islanders. Sorry, I messed it all up. But hey, it is what it is. The Pirates are actually winning. We traded Antonio Brown to the Raiders. And I will talk more about Pittsburgh Steelers sometime, maybe in this podcast or on my next show, because by that time, it'll be the 2019 draft. So we will see who we get, when we get them in that right time, and hopefully it's a middle linebacker. I'm praying to God that we get a middle linebacker. But anyway, in the meantime, for the last show to this show, King Kong Bundy passed away. So I want to talk a little bit, God rest his soul, I want to talk a little bit of the experiences that I had with Bundy, because I actually worked with Bundy in the Big Run War Memorial that I'm looking at right now. It is a thing I got in Indiana Gazette many years ago. It says area wrestler pinning hopes on body slam. The body slam was a body slam match with King Kong Bundy, and Bundy was over 6'5", and he was over 460 some pounds. So at that time, I was about 290. I was also the major face of the organization of the APWF. I also was getting escorted, and I had a thing called the Brew Crew, and it was Robert, a.k.a. the Dice Man Hornack, who was my first one, was walking me out, and then later it got to be G-Mo from Cleveland. And what a crazy thing we had with the Cleveland, and I'm from Pittsburgh, and G-Mo's a good dude. If anybody ever watched any of his crazy shows out in Cleveland, they are bloody, they are crazy. But anyway, I took a whole week off of work, and at that time I worked at the Rose Inn in Ernest, Pennsylvania, when it was It was owned by Steve and Joe Fry, the best owners actually to have the Rose Inn. That's just the way I looked at it. But I had an opportunity by Chris Lash, and the storylines. Lash booked me against Bundy, so I was like, "Holy hell!" Put it this way, ladies and gentlemen, I was nervous as hell because that was the biggest name I ever worked. I worked, I think, I think Demolition Axe. I tagged up with him, but I never worked against him until later on that year, actually. But actually, it was at the Big Run War Memorial, and it was a body slam match. I have it on VHS tapes somewhere in my studio. I had my buddies Burns and Gifford tape it for me, and I mean it was something. I mean, I tried to pick him up, and there was no go. I actually took some bumps for me, which I was totally surprised. He took a clothesline for me. Actually, I think a couple clotheslines. I tried to get him up. I couldn't get him up. I got him off on one leg. And actually, I didn't post right for the slam because I don't know. Maybe I was nervous. I didn't post high enough for him, but he did pick me up. He did. I took Robert, the Dice Man, turned on me. He turned on me, hit me with a steel chair, stunned me, and then it stunned me where Bundy actually slammed me for the win, and he did the 5 count. And when he avalanched me. Like, he actually won with the body slam because, you know what I mean? But then he gave the 5 count. He avalanched me. I thought my ribs were destroyed. Seriously, I was holding my ribs. I couldn't breathe. And then Lash had, like, every heel come out and put the goddamn boots to me. Like, realistically, it was overkill. Total overkill. As I look upon it now. And I'm outside the ring, and who saves me was the firefighter Blaze, because he was from Big Run. So he's one guy against 15 guys, which was totally, totally stupid as I look back upon it. And he didn't last but 2 seconds, which was totally stupid. Like, the faces never came out. Like, I don't understand that because I was too busy holding my ribs because I couldn't breathe and I thought I was seriously messed up. So they put him through a flaming table, and that's how they ended the show, with me holding my ribs, flaming table, all the heels in the ring, cheering, because Lash had like every single heel known to mankind against me. So that was the storyline. But I also want to say that I was supposed to wrestle Robert in October 2nd of that year. And I always say that was a match I wish I would have had, because if I'd have had that match, then Robert would have been alive, because he tragically he got killed in Undertow in Delaware on vacation. And that was earth-shattering, and it shattered the whole company on a whole. It shattered families. It shattered everybody. It was a bad time in the APWF company history. It was a bad time for me in pro wrestling. We did not know where we were going to go or what we were going to do with the company. And I took it upon myself and put some money into the company at the time to keep it going. But that was my my working King Kong Bundy, because Bundy passed away about a month ago. Before when I got my episode 12 done, he passed away, I think, a couple days after that. And nobody knows what he passed away from, but he was a big man. I sat and watched tapes of him wrestling Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 2 to try to get the feel on how to work him, because at that time, I think Hogan and Road Warrior Hawk was the only ones to body slam him, I believe. I could be wrong, but I wanted, hey, if I could have body slammed him, I think that could have, whatever anybody could have said about me, if I seriously, legitly got him up, then, I figured my career could have went in a different path. It could have went like, holy heck, this guy slammed him, and that would have shown some heads, because back then we didn't have social media, we didn't have a cell phone, so you couldn't see, right there and then. But maybe people would have been talking, and it would have got me a little bigger push, maybe at that time. But I just want to say that was my one experience. I've worked a lot of big names, and I'll talk about some of that periodically throughout my podcasts as we do. But that was my story, my experience about working with King Kong Bundy, because I seen him on other shows where I got hurt, and he told me, "Oh, your knee's messed up." You know what I mean? But I didn't work him on a show. He was on a show with me. But then I finally got to work him, and it was an honor to work Bundy because he wrestled Hulk Hogan. He was in WrestleMania 2. And I have wrestled some names in my life. And I'm very proud of that. And, I should be proud of that because I did what I had to do, and I tried to achieve something back then. And I'm very proud. But that night I got my ass kicked afterwards, and I thought I broke my ribs, and the Dice Man turned on me, and it was not good. And it was, my grandfather got tragically, was in a tragic accident like 2 days before that. And he used to come to my shows, and he couldn't make it. So it was a little emotional for me because the article that I'm looking at, because it happened, July 29th, 1999 is the article that it was featured in. And it's in the Indiana Gazette, and I got a big plaque, you know what I mean? And it's, there's me with a picture when I was the APWF champion at the time, and we had a show at Indiana. But yeah, that was the interview that I did when I was talking about how I was going to conquer King Kong Bundy, but I didn't conquer him because he kicked my ass. So anyway, that's we're just gonna slowly build up to it. I just wanted to get that story out, and I want to do and talk about some other things. I also, real quickly, I just passed this past Friday, I went to Steel City Con trying to get some stuff for the Triple B experience. Nowadays, you can't do any type of video stuff. They get a little pissed off about that. I took a quick picture I went down to see William Shatner. I stood in line. I bought a picture for my downstairs, which is slowly getting worked on. I got the walls almost done. I got some help, but I'm not very good at construction. I'm always good at destruction. Demolition is my forte. But me and Tammy stood in line. We went down with the Fritzes, Troy and Sarah Fritz, and Troy was down there with Tom Berenger, and he was front line, and he was getting everything autographed and pictures and everything. And I just got a Captain Kirk, 8x10 for the downstairs, and he wasn't even like looked like he was pissed off, and people were getting $500 worth of autographs signed, and I was gonna say, hey man, can you do something for the Triple B experience, like Con or something like that, but I probably would have got in trouble, which I know I would have, but hey, it is what it is. And I made him look up, and because he wasn't talking to people, he was just signing stuff and putting his head down. And I was like, how you doing, Mr. Shatner? He's like, good. And I was like, hey, I know I pissed him off with this one. I was like, hey, my buddy Gifford loved you in Dodgeball. And, that smile turned into like, oh, kid, you're an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, he is 80-some years old, and he probably is wishing that I would have said something a little bit more better in his theatrical production than the commissioner of Dodgeball. So I pissed him off, and we went Friday. There wasn't a lot of people, like celebrities. Jim Ross wasn't there. Mark Henry wasn't there because I had to work, and that kind of sucked because I would have definitely tried to get Jim Ross to say something, because I'm going to try to get some people to, just comment or do a video for the Triple B experience so I can get it on, my Facebook page and just get like the word out there and try to build more and more and more. But I bought some stuff, down there for my downstairs, and I bought a couple comic books, but it is very expensive. You know what I mean? They wanted $30 for a container of fill up your root beer. So you go down there and have a mortgage, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I did this that past weekend. We went down to 4 of us, me, Tammy, Troy, and Sarah, and we had a great time. And, I like going to them. So we're going to go down to the one in August, so, but like I said, this is the Triple B experience, and you're listening to it, and you can listen to it on the free Idiot Radio app, and you can download it on iTunes and Google Play. It's also on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and you can do it on YouTube. You can watch it on your TV or whatever, and you can download it on SoundCloud. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bad Bubba Brewer, and you're listening to the Triple B Experience.
The Triple B Experience.
We'll return after these messages.
Battaglia Home Inspections, the only place you need to go for pre-purchase, pre-list, or general home inspections. Battaglia Home Inspections is available to discuss how our services can meet your needs. Our impartial and experienced inspectors can help you make an educated real estate investment. Pennsylvania State Certified Real Estate Inspectors, servicing Beaver County, Butler County, and surrounding areas. For more information, go to BattagliaHomeInspections.com or give them a call at 724-987-3770. Vapor Connection in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Premier vaping lounge and proprietor of vaping supplies. We carry everything from mods and accessories to the widest selection of e-liquids in Pittsburgh. Visit our shop in Blawnox and sample e-juice from America's best suppliers. Vapor Connection, Pittsburgh's premier vapor and shop lounge. Vape easy at the Vapor Connection. For more information, go to VaporConnectionLLC.com.
You're listening to Idiot Radio, taking it to the edge and back.
For all your heating and cooling needs, service, and installation, contact our friends at Complete Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, 412-513-3001. Doesn't your family deserve complete comfort?
Welcome back to the Triple B Experience. I'm your host, Bad Bubba Brewer. And I just want to give a plug out right now because I got asked to be the MC for the Bunker Brawl 2019. It's a plastic model show and contest. It's going to be held Saturday, May 18th. Okay, it's going to be at the Clyde Fire Hall in New Florence, Pennsylvania. General admission is $3, and children under 12 are free. And it's for the Bunker Club, which is going to be something that Troy Fritz does. He does all these plastic war. If you guys ever seen on my Facebook, he made me like a TIE fighter and a tank. And the contest categories are aircraft, armor, automotive, figures, juniors, sci-fi and movies, and ships. So for more information, visit Sergeant Fritz's Hobby Shop. Call or text or email Troy Fritz at 724-599-4885. Or you can email him at, this is an awesome email, frankcastle31@yahoo.com. So the vendor tables are $10. So I just wanted to give it out. You're going to have vendors, raffles, concessions. And I am your guest announcer for this Bunker Brawl 2019. So I just wanted to give it out there. So it opens at 9 a.m. and the judges start at 12, and the rewards will be as followed. So like I said, it's the Bunker Brawl 2019, sponsored by the Bunker Club, which is owned by Sergeant Fritz's Hobby, which AKA is Troy Fritz. And it's Diamond Troy Justice. That's what Troy's doing now. And God bless him on that. He's just trying to do stuff. And he does good work. So if you like to get some models and stuff, get a hold of Troy. So, okay. Well, and also the Triple B Experience can be listened to on these apps. Idiot Radio has their own app that you can download stuff and listen to all their other shows. Besides my show, which God bless you when you do. But I know Todd has a show. And I know that Jimmy Crenn has a show that he does. Todd does stuff with Jimmy Crenn, and you can download the Idiot Radio app on iTunes and Google Play, and you can also download my show on Idiot Radio, the Triple B Experience, on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and you can watch it on YouTube, which I have sometimes watched my stuff because I'm my own worst critic, and you can download SoundCloud. and I've been averaging anywhere between 40 to 90 views on SoundCloud. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys. I appreciate all the support. I'm just trying to do a little more. And I know my studio is not high tech like Todd's. I mean, he's got like 16 laptops. I got one laptop. Right now, I'm going off my phone and my tablet to try to help me out because I don't have a monitor, because he had a monitor when we did this wrestling show, which I'm going to go into. We did a wrestling show and we tried to predict WrestleMania 35. And it was great. I had fun and it flowed. Like it just flowed. And we talked about stuff because it was great. And, and I don't think that my record for predictions were very good. So, and I also want to say, if you watched WrestleMania, it was like an 8-hour working schedule. Like you worked 8 hours. Like it was on like 5 o'clock, and I don't think it was done for me until 1. It was too damn long, okay? But it was WrestleMania. But we did some predictions, and I wanted to go over the results and see how good I did, because and I'll let you know what I took if I can recall in my memory who I predicted. But actually, we went through all the matches that we knew of at that time. Sometimes, and I'll get to what happened when it didn't transpire the way that we thought it would. But actually, the first match was the singles match for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. I took the reigning champion, Buddy Murphy, but Tony Nese took the title. So right there and then, I'm 0-1. And the 17-woman WrestleMania Battle Royal, I remember this because I even talked about it. I took Lacey Evans, and Lacey Evans didn't even show up. So I was screwed out of that. So now I'm 0-2. 0-2. Okay. So I know we picked the tag team match, but after that, when we did the show, me and Todd, they didn't have Kurt Hawkins or Zack Ryder even there. But I lost that one because I took the Revival. So I'm 0 for 3. Okay. Now it was a 30-man Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And the obvious pick was Braun Strowman. I didn't pick the obvious pick. I don't know why, but I just didn't. I figured they might push somebody else because, I mean, my God, Strowman has been pushed enough, but they don't know what to do with them. So they brought in the guys from Saturday Night Live to be in this Battle Royal. And I took Otis from Heavy Machinery. Like, I went way out on a tangent. And I picked Otis because I like his look. He's a brick shit house. He can move for a big, short guy. I mean, he's a big dude, but he can move. No, I didn't win that either. So I am 0 for 4. And these are all preliminary matches before actually it started at 7 o'clock. So they kick off the show with Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal Championship, which I didn't see that one coming at the first match. And I took Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins beat him, and I lost. So actually, I'm 0 for 5 going in. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. So the next match was a singles match with AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, and I took AJ Styles. So God bless America. I finally won one. Okay. And the four-way was Usos versus Aleister Black and Ricochet, Rusev, Shinsuke Nakamura, and The Bar. And I believe I took the Usos, but I could be wrong. And I didn't think Aleister Black and Ricochet were going to win that. So I think I did take the Usos. You have to go back into podcast history and see if I was right or wrong. Because I knew the Usos signed a deal, so that's why. So the next match, the 8th match. So I got 2. So 8th match was Shane McMahon versus The Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere match. I took Shane McMahon. So I won that one. Now this one, it was the fatal 4-way for the WWE Women's Tag Team match. So it was the Iconics, against Bayley and Sasha were the champs, against Nia Jax and Tamina, and Beth Phoenix and Natalia Neidhart. So I picked this one. I know I picked this one. I took the Iconics to steal it, and they did. So I was kind of happy on that one. Now, this one here was a singles match for the WWE Championship. It was Kofi Kingston going against Daniel Bryan, and I took Kofi because everybody and their brother took Kofi. So, and then it was Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. I took Samoa Joe. I won that one. Okay, now this singles match was Roman Reigns with Drew McIntyre. I took it as a double countout because I figured they would keep feuding, which they might. I'll get to that. They probably won't now because Roman Reigns is on SmackDown now, so Drew is on Raw. So Roman Reigns defeated Drew, which I couldn't pick. I didn't want to pick either one, and I thought it would be a double countout, but I didn't get that one. Now this one, I figured it was no holds barred match. Was Triple B beating Batista? I picked that one. I didn't think it was going to be that crazy. Batista did the job, and that was Batista's last WWE match ever because he retired right after that. Now this one, it was another singles match. I took Kurt Angle over Baron Corbin, and we kind of figured, me and Todd, that maybe John Cena would have showed up. But Cena did show up in a skit with Elias and come out with, the Doctor of Thugonomics. And that was all he did, was work with Elias, that one. And Kurt Angle got defeated by Baron Corbin, and I took Kurt Angle because I always liked Kurt Angle. So I lost that one. So the singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship match was the champion, Bobby Lashley. I took Bobby Lashley over Finn Balor. That I lost that one too. So I wasn't doing very good. So the last main event was the three-way dance, the female for the women to take all the marbles, and I took Becky Lynch probably like everybody. And then Ronda Rousey actually broke her hand. So that gives me, I'm going to count this up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm 8-8 out of 16 matches. So I broke even, ladies and gentlemen, in my WrestleMania predictions. So I'm 8-8. They did the big shakeup Monday and Tuesday and shook everybody out like, Kentucky Fried Chicken. So we'll see how that goes. Wrestling that whole weekend was crazy. I watched NXT. I watched the WWE Hall of Fame when some douchebag attacked Bret the Hitman Hart. I don't know what the guy was smoking. He got his ass kicked, and that he should have got his ass kicked. So I don't know if the legal ramifications of those guys punching him will come back to haunt him. I do not know, because let's put it this way, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a pro wrestler and a fan jumps in the ring, they're going to kick your ass. They're going to punch you. You can't be jumping over the barrier and going in there. I did that once. I was going to do that one time. I'll tell you another story. I did this at WCW was in Johnstown War Memorial, and I was before I got into wrestling business. I was upset because Savage cost Piper the title against Hulk Hogan in a steel cage. I remember, and I went front row, and I was going to clothesline Savage. I was so pissed, and DDP wasn't bringing Savage over to me, and I didn't know anything about the business. I wasn't even into business. I had no effing clue. But I want to say this, that Diesel said, I said, hey, Big Daddy, cool, and he was going to, like, chucked into me, and I fucking backed off. Diesel's a big dude. I punked out. I'm not going to lie. I did, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. And I was drinking all day, too, because we were tailgating. We were partying like rock stars. And I did get arrested down there because we got into a fight, and we helped out somebody. We all went down there, and I got arrested. And first time I ever met Diamond Dallas Page, I was handcuffed, and I met Terry Taylor when I was handcuffed. It was quite an experience because I bought like 5 NWA bought like all these T-shirts and all this shit. And so don't go over the thing against wrestlers. It's not cool. And I was helping people that I was with because I was with Shane Brandenburg, Tim Javicki, Sam McClure, Burns, Gifford, me. I got arrested. Somebody else got arrested, but I'm not giving their names. I can give my name. I got arrested that day. So and if I'd known that I was going to get arrested, I probably would have clotheslined Savage and got my ass beat, and then I would have got arrested too. But I got arrested, and I didn't. All I did was push people off and grab people, and it was, I probably should have got up for public drunkenness and all that other crazy shit. I was young and and crazy. So kids, do not jump in on a professional wrestler when they're wrestling. Don't touch them, because you'll get your ass beat like that dude that grabbed Bret the Hitman Hart during his speech at the Hall of Fame, which he should have never jumped in on Hitman anyway, because Bret is a cancer survivor and he had a stroke a couple years ago, and it was ridiculous. But let's not do that. But anyway, I got the results. Those are my predictions. I was 8 for 8. So thanks for listening. Now you're listening to the Triple B Experience, and I'm your host, Bad Bubba Brewer.
Hey, this is Road Animal, and you're listening to the Triple B Experience. Oh, what a rush.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Triple B Experience. I'm your host, Bad Bubba Brewer, on idiotradio.net. You can download me on SoundCloud. You can check me out on YouTube. And you can check me also out on iHeartRadio, ladies and gentlemen. I listen to it in my studio. Like I said, I'm working on my studio, and hopefully to get some guests in my studio, get them on the phone, try to do stuff a little differently. Maybe, try to watch some old videos of me and critique them through the video, because Todd got me thinking on how to do stuff. It's very elaborate on his situation. His is like the Cadillac, where mine is like the Eldorado with, or a Pinto, something to that nature. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's the springtime. The weather's getting good. Like I said before, the Pirates are actually they're winning right now. I believe they have 9 wins. Like I said, the Pens petered out very quickly, got swept in 4. And now in 2 weeks, we're going to have the draft. As of today, the Pittsburgh Steelers gave out their schedule. So I have to plan accordingly with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I plan accordingly in my life, which is very sad, on what I'm doing in the fall and how the Steelers actually, I'm that kind of individual. So I've already, I have to plan on my calendar on how to do it. Now, this is the preseason. I got the schedule right in my hand. The Steelers' 2019 schedule, Friday, August 9th at 7:30 against the Buccaneers at home. Saturday, August 17th versus the Chiefs at 7:30. That's going to be, thank God it's preseason, because I'm going to the Iron Maiden concert, me and Tammy. Sunday the 25th is at Tennessee against the Titans at 8 p.m. Thursday, always a Thursday night game against Carolina, always, every damn year. And they're going to be August 29th at Carolina, and that's at 7 p.m. Now, here's the regular season, and Jesus, God Almighty, what the hell do we got to start off the first game of the season against with New England? Sunday night, 8:20. You say that for December, dumbasses. Okay, well, I usually go through my picks, and I'll go through them later on once the season gets a little closer. But I just wanted to give, I just got the schedule today. Sunday, September 15th versus Seattle, 1 o'clock. September 22nd at the 49ers, 4:25. Monday, September 30th is at home against Cincinnati, 8:15. That's a Monday night game. October 6th versus the Ravens, 1 p.m. And it might be a flex. That looks like a flex game. Sunday, October 13th versus the Chargers at 8:20. That's a flex game. Monday, 28th against the Dolphins, 8:15. Sunday, November 3rd versus the Colts, 1 p.m. Sunday, November 10th against the Rams at 4:25. Those are flex. Thursday night against the Cleveland Brownies, 8:20. That's going to be a big game, people. Sunday, November 24th at Cincinnati, 1 p.m. That's a flex. Sunday, December 1st versus the Browns. 3 weeks in a row, we got AFC opponents at 4:25. Sunday, December 8th at the Cardinals, 4:25. Sunday, December 15th versus the Bills, 1 o'clock. That's a flex. Sunday, December 22nd, get this, at New York Jets and against Le'Veon Bell. So hopefully Bell is messed up with a knee or he smoked dope or something. That's a 1 p.m. That's a flex. And Sunday, December 29th, the end of the season is at Baltimore, 1 p.m. Excuse me. So there you go. That's the Steelers' schedule. I'm going to get it all figured out on my lovely calendar and go from there. So, but yeah, that's a schedule. And I also want to say that I just went to go see Shazam the other day. I think Shazam, I'm switching from Steeler football to comic book movies. Boom, right there. I think Shazam to me was better than Aquaman because I'm not looking at Aquaman because, no offense, I don't want to bang Aquaman. That's why I didn't think it was a good movie, and I don't think that guy can act. And I think he did a piss poor remake of Conan the Barbarian. I'm not a big – I just don't care for him. I went to see it. It was okay. But I thought Shazam was funnier, and I thought it was a little bit more better. That's just my opinion. Captain Marvel was really great. And now I'm getting ready by this time, which I probably won't do. And I don't like to do spoilers. I'm not that kind of way because I don't like to do spoilers of The Walking Dead because I hate doing that. But I figured after you see, it's been a while, so it's a fair game. Not like give spoilers like that weekend of the movie. I'm the Avengers Endgame. I probably won't be on social media because some jackass will mess it up for me and everybody else. I'm not that kind of person. I really am not. Like, I'm not going to spoil it to do whatever. You know what I mean? So I just want to say that I'll probably be off social media. And the Walking Dead finale was, I thought after Rick Grimes was good. And that's all I'm going to say about that because some people hasn't watched it yet. So I don't want to give anything out. But I thought The Walking Dead after Grimes was actually very captivating and caught my attention. And I'm waiting for Fear the Walking Dead, and I'm waiting for that whole universe. And I'm also, like I said, waiting for Endgames. I'm also waiting for the Disney streaming because I guess I'm never going to leave my house because I'm going to pay for that. So I guess I'm never leaving. I'm going to have to do somebody's going to give me, I guess Fabe said he's going to give me intervention, him and Stainer, get me out of the house, which I don't mind going out of the house. But if it's more entertaining at my house, why leave? You know what I mean? So, but, there's a lot of movies coming out. I'll be watching them. I won't give any spoilers because I'm not that kind. And I'm reading comic books and trying to get back in shape. I've been fluctuating a little bit of weight. I got sick a couple weeks ago because we had a flu epidemic or whatever the hell it was. I had to get the Theraflu. I had to do all this. And, I lost a little bit of weight. It was water weight. I brought it all back, which sucked. And I'm trying not to eat so much carbs. And trying to get in shape, people. It's very, very hard. It is what it is. I can't do mounds of Coke because I'd have a heart attack, and I really don't need that. So, because my life's very, very good, and I need to, sit back and reflect on how my life is because other people have a lot of dire situations way worse off than me. And, and it's I have to look at it that way. So I'm just going to say this. This is episode 13. We just got back into it a little bit. I've been on trying to get some stuff done. I'm working on it. I'm going to get some guests by the phone or bring a couple people to the house. Not everybody can come to my house. I do live with other people. And it's very, very hard because my studio, it's in the living room, and I do live with other people, and it's not about me, ladies and gentlemen. So I can actually do stuff via the phone, and so and we're going to do that. And I keep saying I'm going to do that, and I keep putting it off, but I'm trying not to put it off anymore, but I'm just trying to get stuff done. It's very hard. Besides working, trying to remodel my house, trying to do stuff in my house, do the family stuff, and trying to get in shape. So, and do these podcasts, which I enjoy these podcasts because I enjoy talking, because I talk at work every day. I don't ever shut up. I piss everybody off everywhere because I never shut up. And I always have something to say because, A, it's my greatest strength and also a great weakness, but I think it's more of a strength than a weakness. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, listen to the Triple B Experience on iHeart, SoundCloud, YouTube, and you can listen to it on the idiotradio.net app, and you can download it. Okay, you can download that app, and you can, download it on iTunes or Google Play. Okay, so I'm just trying to get, just trying to do this podcast, trying to get some people. Please share this podcast. Please spread the word. You can email me at badbubba77@gmail.com, or you can write on Facebook and let me know if you have any questions, if you have something that I can, talk about. I usually go on Facebook Live sometimes and chit chat. So I'm just talking about my experiences and the stuff that I like, which, we live in this great country called America. So I want to thank everybody for listening to the Triple B Experience. I'm your host, Bad Bubba Brewer. Thank you very much, guys. This is episode 13 in the books. 13. And I got more and more to put out. So thanks for listening. You guys have a great day. And this is Bad Bubba Brewer, and you're listening to the Triple B Experience.